Hello BookTube. For the second tag, I'm going to be doing this tag, double tag Thursday. I'm going to be doing the Interrail Eurorail book tag part 1, created by Booktime with Elvis. And I will link to his original video down below. So the prompts. So you begin your journey in London. Dr. Johnson said, "When a man is tired of London, he is tired of life, for there is in London all that life can afford. What book can you read, reread, and read again and again throughout your life?" I'm going to go with something by Agatha Christie. Exact book, I'm not entirely sure. Maybe A Pocket Full of Rye. Or Death on the Nile. I think I could probably reread those pretty frequently. I don't really reread like that often. It's like I reread, but not rereading something once a year or once every few months. It's a few years between rereadings. Sherlock Holmes lived at 221B Baker Street. Have you ever visited the home of an imaginary character, and if so, whose? No, I haven't. Harris asked me if I'd ever been in the maze at Hampton Court. Jerome K Jerome. Have you ever been lost in a book and not in a good way? Did you completely lose the plot and not have the slightest idea of what was going on? And if you have, please give an example. Again, I haven't really gotten that lost in a book. You head to St Pancras and board the Eurostar to Paris, and within a couple of hours you arrive at the Gare du Nord. The Père Lachaise Cemetery is on your itinerary. Have you been there, or have you ever made a pilgrimage to any literary site? And what are some of the best historical sites have you visited? So I haven't really ever gone to a literary site. I'm not very big on tourism, so I don't really travel all that much, if ever. So really have never gone on a literary pilgrimage anywhere. I certainly haven't gone to that particular cemetery. I've never left the United States. What are some of the best historical sites I've visited? I've visited the San Jacinto battle site here in Texas. And I've gone up the San Jacinto Monument. But I think that's really the only historical site I've ever visited. I don't even remember actually going to the Alamo, so anyway. Gertrude Stein famously said, "America is my country and Paris is my hometown." What is your country? What town other than your own have you felt at home in? So, I live in the United States, Texas more specifically, and I guess alternate or spiritual hometowns. I would go with Austin, Texas. I lived there for a few years when I was in college and loved the city. It's a wonderful place. Also, I was quite drawn to Portland, Oregon while I was there for a brief visit, and San Francisco when I was there briefly for graduate school. Quite enjoyed that place too. Okay, cafes are everywhere in Paris. I like to sit in one for even a couple of hours skimming through a book and people watching. If you have been to Paris, where is your favorite place to visit and favorite thing to do there? If you haven't been to Paris, would you like to, and what would you most like to see and do there? I've never been to Paris. I would love to go eventually. And while I'm there, I would like to see like the Louvre and the Eiffel Tower, and probably look around some of the shops and cafes and stuff like that. After a few days of eating pain au chocolat and drinking one too many cafe au lattes, I don't drink coffee, so why would I be drinking cafe au latte? Anyway, you decide to head south. You head to the Gare du Nord and board the train to Madrid. It will take you 11 hours and 26 minutes, and you will travel 654 miles or 1,052 kilometers. What is the longest train journey you have ever taken? If it counts as a train, probably the BART from San Francisco's airport to San Francisco, and from San Francisco to San Francisco airport. Probably the longest train journey I've ever taken. Like I mentioned in an earlier tag, I would love to have taken a long train journey, but I've never gotten that chance. And I don't know really if I ever will, since journeying by train, particularly in the United States, is not, it's unhealthy. It's in decline, and has been for a number of decades. Okay, where am I at here? Okay. Have you any favorite books or films set on trains? Returning to Agatha Christie, today seems to be a very Agatha Christie centered day, doesn't it? Murder on the Orient Express. I loved the book and the movie. Also, From Russia with Love, which takes place laterly on the Orient Express in both the film and movie version. You are lucky that you can ride in comfort through France and over the Pyrenees into Spain, unlike Captain Jack Aubrey, post captain, who had to don a bear suit and answer to the name of Flora to cross the mountains. Have you got a favorite book featuring a manhunt and or subterfuge? I guess sticking with From Russia with Love, I think would count for that prompt. The Spanish national anthem famously does not have any words. If you have seen them singing at football matches, they are really just humming along to a tune. What is your favorite instrumental only piece of music? Are you prone to whistling? The 1812 Overture, and I am not. I cannot whistle. Kronos Saturn, Devouring His Son, by Francisco Goya, is, to my mind, one of the most disturbing paintings I have seen. It is. You can see it too if you visit the Prado Museum in Madrid. What is one of the most disturbing books and or paintings you have seen? I'm going to go with, I think it's Frisk by Dennis Cooper. And if not Frisk, then definitely The Sluts by Dennis Cooper. Oh, that book is disturbing. So disturbing. Well, Dennis Cooper's work in general is just disturbing. Watching Kronos have his dinner has given you an appetite, so you repair to a restaurant to try Spain's national dish, the paella. If I were to visit your hometown, what restaurant would you take me to, and what would be the dish you would most recommend? So, if we were going to go to where I live, like my hometown here, I would take you to the coffee shop. It's a restaurant cafe that has been in McGregor, my hometown, for close to 30 years now, I would say. Or definitely 20, but I think it's like 30 years. And I would recommend the fried catfish, which is pretty much the only thing I have when I eat there, or when I have eat from there. It's the only thing I eat. Largely because I'm not allowed to fry catfish at home. So, yeah. Okay, and I think that wraps up this leg of the journey, yeah. So, that wraps up part 1 of the Interrail Eurorail book tag. So, I will definitely be doing part 2. And if you would love to do this tag, consider yourselves tagged. And I will see you tomorrow for a book haul. It's going to be large. So far, all of the orders I've had out have come in. I did order something else between the last time I mentioned having some orders out. So there is one more order out that I might be getting in tomorrow. We'll see, and if not, it'll be probably the Vanguard for August's book haul. But right now, I have 20 books to show you tomorrow, and it might end up being 22. I went insane. So, we've got the book haul coming tomorrow, and there's also weekly reads tomorrow too. So, until tomorrow, BookTube, thank you, have a great afternoon, and stay safe.